feel like you're the only one who's really gotten hands on the G11 in like a meaningful way.
Jonathan Ferguson has.
Oh, that's true. Well, yeah. Well, he's cheating though. He's got a massive collection to choose from.
Which one was the G11?
The grandfather
Kraut Space Magic.
Yeah, the brick-looking one.
Gotcha.
Call of Duty Black Ops 1, I believe.
The one that it is wild to think you are going to hand this off to a soldier and be like, hey, your weapon's dirty. Can you fix that malfunction? And then like open it up.
It's 4.6 millimeter caseless, 3-round hyperburst at like 1,800
Cody,
rounds.
that's the internals.
Yeah. We talked about, someone was on here before and we talked about, I think that it's the one you just said, the grandfather clock.
The Kraut Space Magic.
So here's the thing. I have a video taking it apart, how it works, the history, what it was intended to do. Didn't get to shoot it for like obvious reasons. It's in a collection. There's no ammunition. You ever tried to find ammunition for G11?
I can honestly tell you I have not.
Well,
like, does it shoot?
They're 4.6 millimeter caseless.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's mildly proprietary.
You can't go to Bass Pro.
You can't get caseless ammo at Bass Pro?
I have 11 rounds.
Ooh. How much do you think each one of those rounds is worth?
Well, I don't know. No one's actually shooting it.
You can name the price.
But the gyrojet, look how much if you have OG gyrojet.
It's true.
Those rounds were like $200 a piece, roughly.
And by the way, if you have original gyrojet ammo, shoot it now because that stuff is deteriorating. And in 20 years, none of it's going to work. Today, a lot of it doesn't work. And in 20 years, none of it will work. So if you want to shoot a gyrojet, do it now.
So at least 1 out of 2, maybe 1 out of 3 rounds that we fired for the video, because I don't know how many rounds we fired that day. It was maybe like 10, 15. 1 out of 2, at least 1 out of 3 had some sort of malfunction.
Yeah.
Where like maybe only half the jets actually went off, and you could see it in the super slow-mo, like unusable high-speed footage where it's completely destabilized.
That actually would be some of the most interesting high-speed footage.
If you go back and
really
look,
cool.
If you look in the video, you can see some of it where like not all of the rockets are firing, and it's just really weird.
It's trying its best.
Yeah.
So at the G11, like I would love to shoot a G11, but it would be really uninteresting video because nothing happens, nothing ejects.
Oh yeah.
It's one hefty recoil impulse. And 3 holes downrange, and that's it.
That's where you would need ballistic high speed, just so people could see rounds leaving the barrel.
That's right. All you'd see,
recoil impulse.
I think you'd see the magazine moving back and the bullets coming out, and that's it. So it's like
there's no action. All the action's internal.
Everything's internal. It's caseless, so there's no brass coming out. There's no ejection port. There's nothing.
It's a boring ass video. You're
I know,
right. Like,
right?
you slow that down, and it is just.
But it's still some of the only firing footage of that exists outside of 360p.
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
Well, so I'd still love to do it, but in my head, I console myself with what
like you said, getting Knowles and ballistic high speed up there at least to get it coming out of the barrel, and then explain how boring the gun is. That'd be kind of cool.
I don't really watch a lot of GunTube anymore. It's kind of one of those weird things. It's like it feels like work. So like I don't watch other GunTubers. I would watch the shit out of that if you did that.
If someone else films it, I'll watch it too. Absolutely.
All right, we got a guy.
Like, this is what I want to see.
So the owner of Ox Ranch, I think I can say this. I don't think that's like some sort of nuclear secret. He's got one of the early, I think it's the Steyr ACR.
Oh, yeah. I filmed that gun.
Really?
Probably the one he's got.
No shit. He's got a couple of rounds, like the crayon-looking ammunition and shit. Yeah, he's got a couple, like 6, 7 rounds. I don't know how much he's got, but like that was where the fuck do you find that?
That was one that I wanted to shoot. Like that was one where there was actually some minuscule chance of shooting it. It didn't work out, but it's also they're all flechettes.
Really?
Yeah, that's what
I believe so. Yeah.
That's the one. I just searched Steyr ACR. That's what came up.
What the
little flechette?
Wait, what's that thing for? I have never heard of this weapon. So
the idea of the flechettes, the whole ACR program was how do we increase hit probability? Because like soldiers fire and then they miss. How do you fix that? And one idea is you fire a bunch of rounds real fast before the recoil impulse hits.
Fen, pull up the Steyr ACR.
Wow. Okay.
One of them is, what if we shoot
space weapon?
What if we have like 4,500 feet per second muzzle velocity, 12 grain flechettes? So your mean point blank range is like 600 yards. You don't adjust for anything. Hold center mass, pull trigger.
Yeah. It's just cooking, but then
so you're less likely to miss because it's just a laser beam.
But then what's the damage on that? Probably just like
not great.
Yeah, and it's not going to go through brick or trees or leaves, like it'll go all over the place.
One of the early flechette, they were experimenting with flechette rounds back into the 50s. And one of the early ones they ended up canning because it was causing like serious health problems for the soldiers. Because when the plastic sabot was separated from the flechette, it basically vaporized. And the guys were inhaling this plastic particulate vapor from every sabot they fired at, 1,200 RPM.
Yeah, it's going straight to their balls.
Yep.
Microplastics, dude.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
Right there.
Flechette rounds. Yeah.
So the other fun, just to round it out, the other fun option in this set of like how do we increase hit probability is put multiple bullets in one case. So duplex and triplex ammo, where you stack 2 or 3 bullets in a single cartridge case. And they made this stuff for 308, for 30-06, mostly those two, because that's what the Army was using at the time. And then the idea is you have one point of aim and the bullets spread out a bit, and you get the same effect as with 3 rounds out of a G11 or 2 rounds out of an AN-94, but it's one cartridge and it you don't have to have hyperburst because you're firing 3 bullets with one case.
How was the downfall on that though? Because it doesn't sound, I understand in theory, you're like, oh, we'll just put it all behind a single bullet. They're just in a line, but it seems like it would.
So like 30-06 triplex, you got 3 bullets, but in order for the gun to not catastrophically fail, the 3 bullets have to weigh the same as your normal 1 bullet. So you're firing 3 50-grain bullets. It's essentially, 3 light 32 autos.
Yeah.
There were issues of accuracy. You don't want the bullets to like actually stack on top of each other, but you also don't want them to go super far away.
Yeah, you want like a slight, because again, think about it, at 100 yards, this turns into this really quickly. So you're like, okay.
So I've actually done some shooting with duplex 308, and it was like at 100 yards, we got about a 12-inch spread between the bullets, which I think is really good.
Yeah.
Like that's that distance of, if you have a perfect shot, you might get 2 hits, but you'll definitely get 1.
Yeah.
And if you normally would have just missed, one of those 2 bullets will probably hit. A lot of the downfall of this stuff was old school people in administration who were brought up on marksmanship. And how do you have marksmanship when there's 2 bullets? It'll never hit where you want it to hit. Therefore, not possible.
I'm trying to figure out like what makes that better than a shotgun with a good choke.
You have a lot higher muzzle velocity and a lot better ballistics of an actual Spitzer bullet. You're still getting 3,000, 2,700 feet per second.
The only problem is when you go to 400 yards, you've got like the Pulp Fiction where there's like 6 hits around the guy.
Quite possibly.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're hitting the person and then the dude 8 persons away at that spread, depending on how far it's going.
Also not recommend it for hostage rescue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
Unless
get
you're-
both at the same time. You're like, go! Got both of them.
Oops.
Spitsness, mission
Yeah, I was about to
accomplished.
say, unless it's a Russian
No
hostage
hostage situation.
Yeah, dude, just pump fentanyl gas in there. It's fine.
Yep.
Everything will be fine, dude.
10 terrorists, 90 hostages, 100 body bag. Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished.
Yes.
You're like, no. Dude, that kind of tech is wild, or just developing it, because how far it came, like in my head, that sounds like, oh, that's not going to work, or here is the downside to it. But we tested that in the 60s, 50s.
50s through 90s, essentially. It was a whole series of programs. So the final culmination of it that we see were the 4 guns, the Colt ACR, the Steyr ACR, the G11, and the AAI, Advanced Armaments Inc. had a flechette firing goofy rifle. But that was in the 90s. The Germans came close to adopting the G11 and just barely escaped with their lives from it. But it goes all the way back to the 50s. And there are some bizarre freaking rifles that were in those programs.
I was just talking about this because I just did a video on the Lewis gun.
Mhm.
And I find it so intriguing because you've got pretty much like ballistics and well, actually, I don't know what you say, kinetics, just muzzle loaders, rifles in general, stayed pretty much the same from like the 1500s to the mid 1800s. There really wasn't a lot of variety. And then as soon as you had the centerfire cartridge, very soon after, you started having like machine guns and all sorts of things, and it was just like your tech tree exploded. There's like 8,000 different ways to do it.
So you get two major inflection points like that. The first one is smokeless powder, because smokeless powder allows you to have self-loading firearms. As long as you've got black powder, there's so much fouling that there were people who experimented with self-loading. Actually, sorry, I should say the second one is smokeless powder. The first one is self-contained metallic cartridges.
Yeah.
And that doesn't start with primers, but it very quickly becomes the modern centerfire case.
For sure.
And that allows you to have a batch of cartridges at the ready to use in some sort of repeating weapon.
Because we're looking at, and it's neat to see that right before that really took off, the things that people did before that. Like the first ever thing that came out of what became Smith & Wesson was the Volcanic. And right now we're working on, the Volcanic pistol. You'd probably know it from like Red Dead, the little like lever action pistol.
Yeah.
Complete dog shit. They like have no muzzle energy whatsoever, but it was like a self-contained projectile. And we're working on reverse engineering the ammo right now.
Oh,
and
cool.
It's super, just a bizarre concept. And you very quickly realize like, oh, this is why these never took off.
Yeah. So you take a lead bullet with a hollow base, and you make the base, the inside hollow section bigger, and put the powder in that, and put a primer in that, and then like a little sealant cup of something. I don't remember what they used on the back end. But then
wax
I was
almost.
about to say wax or
wax
some
or
shit.
paper or something like that. Yeah. But then you have all the elements of your cartridge right here, and the bullet is the case, because you've got the tip of the bullet with most of the mass, and then you've got the hollow cylinder that holds the powder. The problem was, in order to give it enough muzzle velocity to do anything of impact, you had to make the bullet really long, but then you had these really thin lead walls, and the front of the bullet would break off from the back of the bullet, and you'd have a cylinder of bullet case at the back, and the front of the projectile would go down range, and then the gun's
Dangerous.
Can't be fired again.
Otherwise, you have these really light projectiles that don't really do anything. Like I don't know if this is hyperbolized, but there's accounts of people trying to kill themselves with this and failing.
I've read that story. I don't know if I believe it or not, but it's not completely out of the realm.
Like Mythbusters says plausible kind of thing.
Yeah,
like I don't know if
exactly.
it's true, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Skill issue.
And they had a couple of different versions, and like the handgun one was 31 caliber, I think.
Yeah.
So, it's even a small diameter to begin with. The rifle one was bigger. I think they had
It's like 41.
something like that. Yeah.
I don't recall off the top of my head, but we have the smaller one.
Yeah.
And it's cartoonishly small.
Yeah.
You look at that, you're like, I don't know how the you ever made this work.
But it's cool.
It's really neat.
So beyond the Volcanic, there was a whole series of pistols that were manually operated with ring trigger levers that mostly came out of Austria. And they are neat guns too. Like there's some with little 5-round clips. There's a batch of them that were made using cartridges before people really kind of came up with the idea of an extraction groove. So the base end of the cartridge is just solid. And there is no, the extractor doesn't grip on a groove in the cartridge.
What does it do then?
I don't remember. I knew you were going to ask.
The second you said, you're like, fuck,
I don't remember how they did that.
I don't have the answer to the question I just made.
It's neat. I was just like, that's a neat way of doing it. What do they do instead?
Yeah.
Science. Magic.
He doesn't know podcast is over, dude.
Yeah. You're the professional.
Soiled it.
What the dog? What the
No,
They're all super janky.
it's super neat too, because like a lot of the like early cartridge stuff, you've got like the pin fire stuff.
Yeah.
Which I mean, that was got the needle rifles and stuff like that. It's just super
The Needler.
So
just strange.
what makes those
Yes, the
situations?
Halo Needler.
Yeah,
That's
Eli.
what you're talking about, right?
Oh, totally.
That was old tech.
Explodes inside the little bug.
homing
Yeah.
missiles to kill somebody.
What makes those periods so cool is someone will invent new technology and patent it. And a lot of people don't really understand how patents work. Patents are temporary protection. The idea is if you innovate and create a new product, you're rewarded with a monopoly on that product for a limited period of time. So that Bob the inventor in his garage doesn't invent something super cool and then Megacorp just copies it and he gets nothing. Bob gets his limited time monopoly, which people can argue pros and cons on that system. But
Edison had some words about it.
right. Oh yeah. It's not
Contracts and lawyers, my friend.
it is not without controversy, but that's the concept. And what happens as a result is when the new technology comes out, like smokeless powder, all of a sudden it's now feasible to make self-loading systems, semi-auto, full auto guns. And the first person who figures out like the obvious way to make it work patents it. So then the next guy is like, well, this is a huge open market. I want to make a machine gun, but I have to do a different thing than that guy did. So, well, okay, here's the second best, most obvious, efficient way to do it. And he does that and he patents it. And about 5 years in, there's still people out there who want to make their fortune in this. But now like the 85 best ways to do it are patented. And then you start getting these really bizarre workaround systems. And at like 17 years after the tech comes out, all the bizarre stuff goes away because now the good way, the patent's expired. And now everyone can do that. Like that's why we have Browning pistols still today. And we don't have Bergmans and Nambus and all the other really janky early semi-auto pistols.
It is cool as they are.
Oh, they're super cool, but would you want to carry any of them?
The Mandalorian does.
That was, I
Wait,
have questions about that. Like there's only one place that Propmaster found that gun.
You think?
There's only one gun. Where else do you find it online before the Mandalorian comes out?
So it's like the Bergman. What is it? The
Yeah, I posted it.
it's like the M. What is it? The M95.
It was
96?
1892 or 93.
Okay.
Because it was what they copied for the Mandalorian was the very first prototype Bergman. Not
No
even
shit.
not even the first standard model, but the prototype. Yeah.
Oh.
So when that came out, I got a lot of messages from people who were like, "Oh my god, it was either like, "Oh my god, they found one," or "Oh my god, they ruined one by turning it into a blank or something for the movie."
Oh shit.
And the answer is no, they totally didn't. It's a resin model.
The Bergman 1896.
Yeah, it's
that what you're
not.
talking
Oh,
Yeah, but that's not like
It's not.
It's an earlier
exactly.
pattern.
Yeah, I didn't know because there's clearly like a couple differences there, but like
Yeah.
like on the I don't know what you call that, but
so that's the loading gate.
yeah,
That's actually a thumb lever that you pull down to put the clip in.
okay,
But if you
magazine.
look here, it's
not
got a
not yet.
I
It
know.
wasn't.
it's got a cleaning rod on the side,
Hmm.
and that's only found on the original prototype example.
Oh, so they actually had an OG. So whoever
Ben, please
actually
pull
No,
that
they
up.
made it out. They created
somebody's
that thing
seen
out
it.
of resin or something. Yeah,
But they seen that. They had to deep dive to find that exact.
and as far as I can tell, there's only one place where they could have found it.
And that's
But I never heard from anybody.
no shit.
That
But
is-
if the armorer for the Mandalorian is watching this and would like to spill any details, I'd love to hear them.
Yeah, please comment.
Because it's such a cool Star Wars throwback.
yeah,
Because the original Star Wars was all done with World War II guns with stuff glommed onto them because that's what was available and easy to use.
Lewis guns, MG34s, fucking STG 44s, all that shit.